What if I told you the foundation of all Western thought, the blueprint of logic, morality, and ethics, started not with a textbook, but with a beard? Not just any beard, mind you. This was the beard of Socrates, a man so legendary, he made questioning things a career and made beards philosophical before hipsters ever picked up a pipe. This is Beardtory, and today we're heading back to the 5th century BCE Athens. No shampoo, no razors, just wisdom and whiskers. So let's go ahead and paint the picture. Socrates wasn't exactly a looker, according to those who wrote about him, because the man never penned a single word himself. He was short, stocky, barefoot by choice, and he had a face best described as rugged. But that beard, that was iconic, thick, wiry, and unapologetically natural. A beard not for vanity, but for virtue. Socrates was born around 470 BCE in Athens. Socrates was the son of a sculptor and a midwife. He could have spent his life chiseling marble, but instead, he chose to chisel minds. He walked the Agora Athens marketplace, questioning everything and everyone. Know thyself, they say. Socrates took that and added, and while you're at it, question thyself, thy neighbor, and thy government too. Socrates, the original punk rocker. Socrates developed what we now call the Socratic method, basically a way to make people realize they don't know squat by asking them questions until their brain spirals and into an existential crisis. Imagine you're just out there trying to enjoy a wine at a dinner party, and here comes, Socrates. What is courage? Well, it's being brave. But what is bravery? Not being scared? But isn't it courageous to act despite fear? All right, I'm just going to finish my wine and leave now. And he was that guy, but with the beard of a wise wizard, so people tolerated it for a little while. Because eventually, the Athenian government got tired of his beardy meddling. They accused him of corrupting the youth, and basically they said, stop making us think so much. Socrates, he was 70 when he was sentenced to death. He had a couple of options. Stop being so, philosophical, or drink hemlock. Guess what Socrates chose? He toasted with poison like a bearded legend. As Plato described it, even in death, Socrates stayed calm, cool, and fuzzy. His last words? Crito, we owe a rooster to them. Pay the debt and don't forget. So translation, even in death, I got jokes. And jokes, I guess he had, or at least what we know he had. Let's analyze the beard just a little bit. He had that full natural, ancient Greek, no trim, no fade, just all flow. And it was pretty symbolic in, ancient Greece. A beard represented masculinity, wisdom, and dignity. Shaving was for, frankly, cowards. And it was a bit of a power move because he wore his beard like he wore his ideas. Unfiltered, unflinching, and absolutely untamed. And Socrates, he didn't write anything. Everything we know came from students like Plato and, the other Greek words that I'm going to not even try to struggle to say. But his ideas, they've been echoing through centuries. Think about it. No Socrates, no Plato, no Aristotle, no Alexander the Great, no Alexander the Great. Well, let's just say the world map would look a lot different. And the beard became a literal symbol of philosophy. From Karl Marx to Marcus to great minds, they followed in his whiskered footsteps. You know what time it is. Not the actual time. I know you could look at a clock unless you're a younger one, and then you look at the clock in the schools and they're pulling them because you guys can't read them. It's time to rank the beard. As always, we're going to rank them in a couple of different categories. We're going to go with the wisdom. We're going to go with the fear factor, the intimidation level, the thickness and wildness, and the historical impact of the beard. Wisdom points, let's start it right off. This is pretty wisdom. One of, if not the highest rankings in the wisdom category, he's Socrates. You know what I mean? He got people to write his ideas. He has ideas that are still around today. He invented critical thinking while barefoot in a toga. For me, it's a 9.4 out of 10. Fear factor. Not exactly the scariest beard that we've ever done. Wasn't a ruler, wasn't into the wars, and I guess really the only thing you'd be afraid of is hard questions and repetitive questions and thinking, overly thinking. But if you looked at him, you didn't really know him, you could maybe be a little scared, kind of like potentially walking by somebody who's homeless with a beard and maybe being scared. For me, let's go with a 4.2 out of 10. Intimidation level. This one's a little bit tricky because he didn't really need a sword. His words, they were sharp enough. So intimidation is a couple of different things. Did he intimidate governments? Did he intimidate people in the war aspect? No. But again, I mean, he was so intimidating to the point where they sentenced him to death. So for me, it's not off the charts in the standard intimidation. So I'm going to go with a 6.6 out of 10. Thickness and wildness. Well, it was pretty thick. Definitely wild, and a true philosopher's beard, natural, bold, and probably home to a few scroll fragments. So again, very thick, very wild. It's 520 BCE. There's no beard products. There's no copper johns out there and combs and all of that other stuff. The depictions of him, it's wild. It's flowing. So for me, it's an 8.2 out of 10. Let's go with the historical impact. It's the beard that launched 1,000 arguments and 1,000 college tuition bills. I mean, people still talk about Socrates in, rap lyrics, movies like Bill and Ted, Method Man Redman, Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses. I mean, it's a pretty historical beard. So for me, I'm going to go a 9.1 out of 10. For anybody that's not great at math, 37.5. Here is how he ranks amongst all the other beards that we have done so far. As you notice, this is 10. There's going to be a couple of them that might get bumped off the list, that might not make the top 10. We're always going to keep the top 10. If you want a full list of all of them, let me know in the comments. We'll have to work on that because I haven't quite planned that out. But either way, great beard. It's in there. Hold on, Abraham. So let's go ahead and wrap this up a little bit. Socrates didn't just leave a mark on history. He left a mark on every face that ever grew a beard to look smarter. And while he didn't fear death, he definitely, probably, allegedly feared razors. So join us next time on Beardtory, where we continue to uncover the truth behind the most legendary beards in history, one follicle at a time. Until then, keep your thoughts deep, your questions bold, and your beard eternal.